Your sports update. Brian Hartline, offensive coordinator of the Buckeyes, has agreed to a 6-year deal with South Florida to become their new head coach. Hartline will remain coaching with the Buckeyes for the remainder of the postseason. In the NFL, the Cleveland Browns designated quarterback Deshaun Watson to return to practice from the physically unable to perform list. The latest step in his return from last year's season-ending Achilles injury. The designation opens a 21-day practice window for Watson. In the NBA, the Cavs are back in action tonight, hosting the Portland Trailblazers at 7. The Cavs will be without Jared Allen, Sam Merrill, Larry Nance Jr., and Max Strus. In other NBA news, Giannis Antetokounmpo is having conversations with the Milwaukee Bucks about whether his best fit is staying or a move elsewhere. A resolution is expected in the coming weeks, which will result in shaping whether Giannis is available ahead of the February 5th trade deadline. This update was brought to you by Germain Toyota, the best selection of new and used cars in Central Ohio. View their full selection of vehicles online at germaintoyota.net.
Ring it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's stealing away. He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh! Graham Rucker for the touchdown. Kraft shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on a Wednesday. I'm Brandon Beam. He is Justin Zwick. We got our man Isaiah behind the glass. Jay-Z, happy Wednesday to you, my friend. What's going on? Good to talk to you.
Just enjoying the week after the big game, getting that victory. And then we get some news today to bring it all down.
It is a wild kind of thought, right? Like, obviously, jubilation on Saturday. You feel like you're floating through the weekend. You and I talked about it on postgame. Like, everything tastes better. It sounds better. It just feels better after beating Michigan up in Ann Arbor. And then here we are on Wednesday. I'm perusing social media today, and I saw Pete Thamel tweet out, like, Brian Hartline is expected to take the USF job. And I'm like, oh, whoa, this kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, I know that there had been reports of, maybe people from Kentucky were up here interviewing him, but Will Stein, the offensive coordinator from Oregon, ultimately took that job. I'm like, all right, it seems like Brian's going to be here for another year.
Yeah, it's like we made it
Got
through
it
all
through.
this.
It's signing day. Everybody's going to be having a good time. And then, I don't even know what time that was, 10, 11 o'clock this morning.
Been, around there, because that's when I saw it, and I was just like, what? I didn't have that on my radar at all.
Just beat Michigan. Everything's supposed to feel great this week.
We're playing in the Big Ten Championship. We're going to the playoffs. Maybe running it back. National Championship. And we lose our best recruiter.
Yeah, best recruiter. Fantastic wide receiver coach. Offensive coordinator. Put up good numbers here this year. So, it never stops, right? The news cycle never stops. Here was Ryan Day a little bit earlier today. By the way, we've got Austin Ward coming up. He's going to join us live from the Woody around 6:17. Give us all the news and notes that we need. Preview the Big Ten Championship game with him. A little Michigan rewind. Obviously, what's going on with Brian Hartline. Signing day today. What's the status? Updated status on Chris Henry Jr. That's the one that we're looking at. Caden Wyan-Dixit. He not transferred. He flipped from Ohio State to USC today. So all kinds of stuff that we'll get in with him at 6:17. And then Joshua Perry's going to join us at 6:30 to give us a national perspective. He played in a Big Ten championship game. So we'll talk to him at 6:30, and then we'll do the Pulse coming up around 6:46. But here was Ryan Day a little bit earlier talking signing day stuff. Now he's going to have more media availability tonight after practice. But here was him talking about Brian Hartline getting that USF job.
We'll do a quick team meeting here and kind of let the team know. He was able to let the wide receivers know and the recruits know. And I'm really happy for he and his family. The fact that he gets an opportunity to do this. He's put a lot of hard work here at Ohio State as a player and now as a coach. And so that's part of the profession. And that's, as a head coach, it's gratifying to see one of your assistants get one of these opportunities. And I think he's going to do great. I think it's a great opportunity for him. And looking forward to see how he does, and so that's exciting for him. The timing isn't great, but that's not Brian's fault. That's other people's fault, and hopefully we can get some of this stuff addressed because it's but it's like that for everybody in the country. Instead of being upset about it, we're going to embrace it, and I'll let the team know today. They obviously will read it today, but it's good to hear from me. But yeah, the plan is for him to continue to be with the team, which is a challenge for him. But that speaks to his character, that he wants to make sure he finishes this thing out the right way. He wants to be with us all the way through, all the way to the end, and see this thing out during the season. So it'll be a busy month for him, but it's been done before, and we'll help him along the way.
I think that was the first question a lot of Buckeye fans had about the situation, right? Like, we know that the timeline in schedule in college football has just been cranked up. Like, you get signing day, you lose an offensive coordinator, you're getting ready to play in a Big Ten championship game, and then whatever happens in the college football playoff. Number one question was like, well, is he going to be here for that. And I'm sure that Ryan Day would have no problem if Brian Hartline decided, like, hey, this is my job now. I need to take it. A la Lane Kiffin this weekend. We don't need to get into that. Maybe we will a little bit later in the Pulse. But, right, like Brian's going to stay here. It'll be all good. I'm sure it's going to be a very busy schedule for him because he's got to get on the recruiting trail. Mm-hmm. Ryan Day and the Buckeyes have to stay on the recruiting trail, even though they just had signing day today. But that was the first and foremost. Is he going to be here? He's going to be in Indianapolis. I'm sure he's over at the Woody right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like those guys are getting ready to be done with practice here in about 25, 30 minutes or so. But it was a kind of a frantic day today with this news breaking.
Yeah, it was. And, I'm happy for Brian. He's a friend of mine. We're from the same area up in Northeast Ohio. He was just a year younger than me. So it's really cool to see, a buddy of yours go get a job like this, because I'm a college football head coach. That's pretty cool.
It's big time.
As an Ohio State fan and, somebody who enjoyed what he did while he was here, it's sad.
I don't think you're speaking for yourself.
Well, yeah, fair enough. I mean, Buckeye Nation for sure. But excited about the opportunity. He is going to have a busy month, though, because you talk about recruiting. He's got to recruit coaches. He's got to recruit player. I mean, there's a lot for him to do. So the fact that he wants to put all that on his plate, stay here, see this thing through, as far as they can go in the playoffs, speaks to who he is and what kind of guy he is. But, he's going to put a lot on his plate here, and he's going to give everything he has to this team, though. And that's what it seems like, and that's what I expect out of him. So he's going to, Buckeye Nation's going to get all he has going into this, this game this weekend. This game the game's coming up, and you just wish him well as he leaves. But you hope and you wish he leaves on an exclamation point. And I think even South Florida would be happy. Like, yeah, go win another one because that looks even better. You coming down here to be our head coach.
We can put that on the wall
yeah,
for
exactly.
the recruiting pitch. That goes number one page in the PowerPoint.
Yeah, 1,000%. So I imagine we're even like, hey, yeah. We're cool with you doing that. Don't worry about it. Because think about that. You're a school hiring a new guy. Oh, hey, by the way, today is signing day. We just signed you. You haven't signed anybody, type thing. You got to find all these coaches, but stay in Columbus and go ahead and continue to do that.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it's very cool on them, but I think they see the benefit in it if he were to go out and, if his team were to go out and, win another national championship.
Yeah, back-to-back national championships. You're the best recruiter in the country. You are elite developer of wide receivers, and then you've taken an evolutionary step where it's not only I'm developing the wide receivers, but I'm also now calling plays, bringing on more responsibility. As far as it goes for the Ohio State wide receiver commits, and today again, it's kind of been it's been frantic. It's signing day. Caden Dixon-Wyatt, who was a teammate in high school from California Mater Dei of Chris Henry Jr., flipped today to USC. Now the latest on Chris Henry Jr. is that we don't know. He tweeted out something a little bit earlier this afternoon. He said, hey, listen, with the coaching changes, I just need to sit down.
I'm taking my time.
I'm taking my time. Listen, it's a massive decision, right? Like, I know that we all get very excited about signing day and following recruits, and we talk to Berm every so often and, everything that goes along with that. And at the end of the day, that's a monster decision for these kids to make. So whether you're 16 years old and you make a commitment early, whether you're 17, whether you're 18, like, you're not only figuring out where you're going to play football, you're not only figuring out the people that you're going to be around for the next 3 to 5 years. Well, now with the transfer portal, it's a little bit
at least
different.
a year.
But you're also figuring out, like, hey, especially in Ohio State's circumstances, how many of you guys, Jay-Z, when you get done playing, come back, stay here, live here? Like, there's a ton of former Buckeyes who, move across the country. They got different jobs, but they ultimately come back here. Yep. So it's a monster decision that you have to make, and no one's blaming Chris Henry Jr. or really Caden Dixon-Wyatt for the decisions that they're making. Like, that's a monster move. The coach who has recruited you through all of this just left and took another job. If you need a couple of days, week, you want to say, I'm not ready to go until February, until the next signing day. I think everybody understands that. At least I do.
No, I do as well. The thing about it is it's like these receivers were coming here because of Brian Hartline.
Of course.
Right? So it's like, yeah, I understand 1,000%. It's basically like you're losing your coach, not your head coach, but in a way, it's kind of like that because like we're going here because of him. You saw James Franklin pull a lot of guys from Penn State to Virginia Tech because, hey, we were coming here because of our relationship with you, coach. So I understand it. You hope and you keep your fingers crossed that these receivers would look deeper and say, all right, well, Ohio State's still really good every year. They're going to go be in the playoffs. I'm still going to make money going
Quarterbacks, they
there.
got offensive line.
Their quarterback might win the Heisman this year. Like they got a lot of good stuff going on. So yes, I loved Coach, but I also loved the other coaches that I met there, and maybe didn't know them as well as I did Coach Hartline. But who are they going to bring in? That's the big question, probably. Who,
of course.
And that's what my thing to Coach would be like. All right,
What's your
I
answer?
still like Ohio State. Who do you guys have a plan for this?
Yeah.
Or did it come out of nowhere? Have you thought about this? Do you have a plan? Devin Jordan's there. Is he somebody that they're looking at to step right into? He learned from Brian over the last few years. Is that a big enough name?
Are you promoting a Keenan Bailey?
Well,
Is he going from wide
exactly. Are you
receivers
coming
coach?
from inside, or are you going to go out and say, hey, listen,
Right.
we're going to go try and get the best receiver coach in the country? Why wouldn't they want to come here? So there's a lot up in the air, and unfortunately, it's just a middle of the week trying to get ready for a Big Ten championship where you're trying to. I mean, how many things is Ryan juggling right now? Just
Well, I
with
think
the
that was-
recruits and with the game and everything.
That was what he was alluding to right there. Like, we wish it didn't happen on this timeline, obviously, but it is, and this is the way that college football is working. So to give you, just a kind of 30,000 foot view of what Ryan Day and other head coaches in college football are dealing with right now. One, staff moves, right? We saw that today. Two, they're dealing with an incoming class of freshmen who are deciding to spend some time here and to commit to you to play football. And then three, you're also getting ready for a Big Ten championship game. You're getting ready for a potential college football playoff. And in the meantime, you're still having to be able to keep your current roster and keep an eye on players who get in the transfer portal. It is, It's not only for Ryan Day. It's not only for Ohio State. This is a problem across all of college football. Hate him or love him, Lane Kiffin has been talking about this for years, and he obviously got put in that same situation this past weekend, right? Made the playoffs, but decided to take the LSU job because he wanted to do that. It is a crazy timeline with what these guys are having to deal with. But really, there's no good time. You look at the schedule now, Justin, there would be no good time for Brian Hartline to make this decision, because even if you made it after a national championship game or you made it after the run in the college football playoff, okay, that's cool. Then from his perspective, he needs to get on campus. Some of his players are going to leave and get into the transfer portal. Like, it's just, it's a nonstop cycle of coaches of what they have to go through right now.
It is, and the cherry on top is, the players get to leave in January, if they want to. So it's just like, oh my gosh, I just don't know what I'm going to have.
That they're going to leave in January.
So it's just the world of college football is just upside down. It's kind of been that way, but you just see it right now. And then, the whole open portal in the middle of the playoffs, or it's just like none of it seems to make sense. And there's not an easy answer to it. I get it, but at least Brian's doing the right thing. He's staying. They're allowing him to stay. They're not kicking him out and saying, no, if you're not coaching here, you're out. Hey, be a part of this. You are a part of this. You're a reason why we are where we are. Just help us finish this the right way. And you hope they do. And then we send them off and say, hey, thanks for everything, man.
Yeah.
If you need us, if you need to come back someday, we'll be here.
It's the next step. It's the next evolution, right?
Yeah, it is.
At some point, you got to take that step.
Yeah, you either do OC for 3 to 5 years, be really good at that, and then you go get your opportunity, or you go cut your teeth at some smaller schools. And I think he's going to do really well down there. He
has also recruited Florida very well.
Yes, South Florida. He's got great relationships. Everybody probably loves him down there, and they're going to be really excited to see him come into town.
Austin Ward, he's going to break down everything from a very busy day over at the Woody coming up with us next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
The meatloaf!
The Fan.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move. A pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. You know when you grow a beard or cut your hair and the mirror surprises each day, then it fades? Well, here's what doesn't fade. Seeing this thinner version of me staring back every single morning. 2 years after dropping 50 pounds with Awaken 180, I'm still doing a double take. And let me tell you, it feels awesome. Awaken 180 didn't just change my weight, it changed how I see myself, literally. I dropped my 50 pounds during the holidays. It's the best time to start, in my opinion. What's stopping you? Awaken180weightloss.com.
I love the neighborhood where I grew up, but it was tough.
Ohio State National Championship quarterback and former CareSource kid, Cardale Jones.
Football helped me find my direction, but I also needed the right support system. Seeing that CareSource heart around town, I just knew they had my back. That's the kind of difference they still make in neighborhoods like mine. This is so much more than health insurance. CareSource, today and always. Trusted. Visit caresource.com.
New creamy parm pizzas are now at Donato's. A decadent new sauce on 2 delicious new pizzas. Try the crave-worthy chicken veggie parm with roasted chicken, fresh veggies, and that rich creamy parm base. Or the savory bacon spinach parm, where smoky bacon meets fresh spinach for parm pizza perfection. Craving something different? Create your own creamy parm pizza today. Donato's. Gotta love more.
Buckeye fans, this is for you. Level up with the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. You'll receive all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Ohio State sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State team shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Sunday, a day of rest, relaxation, and Browns football. Catch the Brownies as they battle the Titans live from the land. This game will not live in infamy.
Kickoff comes your way Sunday at 1.
Your radio home of the Browns, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Picture it. Your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps, spiced cider in every glass, laughter around every plate. At Kroger, we know these moments matter, and we make it easier to bring them to life with quality that's affordable in every aisle. This season, don't just host, make every moment unforgettable. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, getting ahead in this world is not as complicated as it might seem. Having the early guidance and counsel of your community banker, one who knows you and your family's story, can make a great deal of difference. Relationships matter. Bank on community banking. I'm Scott McComb. Coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy skies, breezy and dry on this Wednesday. Temperatures running in the upper 20s. Staying in the 20s overnight with some light snow arriving while we're sleeping. Little if any accumulation, but some slick spots might be possible early Thursday. With some sunshine, we'll be breezy on Thursday, but temperatures falling slowly all day. We'll see colder temperatures down to around 10 degrees by Friday morning. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Someone out there probably thinks we spend too much time talking about the Buckeyes. Please tell someone that they're stupid. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Right now, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Checking live over at the Woody. I believe for the second time today. He is over there. He is Austin Ward. A-Ward Sports, happy Wednesday to you. Slow news day in Buckeye land.
Yeah, anything happening around here? Been an interesting day. Let's put it that way, boys. It is. You said, for me, second visit. That's true. We had a press conference at noon with Ryan Day. We also talked with Mark Pantoni. So double duty for us. And guess what? Double duty for Brian Hartline, because he is about to lose a lot of sleep trying to juggle 2 jobs over the next month. And then that's barely even touching what's going on with National Signing Day and the start of the signing period. And by the way, the Buckeyes are practicing right now because they play the number 2 team in the country on Saturday night for a Big Ten championship. So this calendar is just really great, guys.
Yeah, it's the best, right? Amongst the media, Austin, I don't know if you've polled everybody over there at the Woody and whether it was right now or it was a little bit earlier today. What's the number one thing on the power list of talking points? Is it Brian Hartline leaving? Is it the future status, I guess, of impending wide receiver commitments? Is it the Big Ten championship game? Or is it just everything as a whole about the calendar?
Who are we going to replace him with? I mean, there's tons of stuff to go with.
Yeah, no, I think Brian Hartline is at the top of that pecking order this week. And you can't fault Brian Hartline for wanting this job. You can't fault him for the timing of the job being available and offered to him. Other programs have to make, their moves and try and get a class signed. So, all that's to say that this is still the number one most impactful thing that's happening for Ohio State, because it touches everything that you mentioned, Beamer. It impacts, Chris Henry Jr.'s recruitment. It impacts, Jerquaden Guilford to the same extent. It impacts future commits at wide receiver because, Ohio State, Brian Hartline has done a phenomenal job recruiting. And that goes without saying. We can look at the product on the field and this class that he put together going into this, but it doesn't just affect the future for Ohio State at wide receiver and, potential roster movement and everything else that would come with that during portal season next month. But this is also the offensive coordinator for the number 1 team in the country, the reigning national champions, and the potential number 1 seed in the college football playoffs. So, I've seen how this works. Tom Herman managed it really well 11 years ago.
That was 2 games, though, Austin.
I know. And I saw Luke Fickell. I had if anyone has seen it, I shared it on my X account at A-Ward Sports today earlier. Like, Luke Fickell let me in behind the scenes all access feature when he was doing the same thing a couple of years later for the playoff. And yes, it was 2 games. It was not a Big Ten championship game and a multi-game playoff and an expanded playoff era that we're in right now. But I saw how difficult it was up close and personal. And Luke Fickell was not the reason that Ohio State lost that playoff game to Clemson. But, to have to spend 4 weeks or more trying to recruit to your new school, trying to build a coaching staff, trying to fill out your entire support staff, move your family, and that's the tip of the iceberg, all while trying to be the offensive coordinator for a team trying to win a national championship and prepare for, let's say 4 games for Ohio State. That is a daunting proposition, and I think that's why Ryan Day, because I was a little bit unsure. I knew that Brian Hartline would stay throughout this playoff run. He is an alum. He is a competitor. He believes that he can accomplish anything, and most of the time he has proven that right at the highest level of the sport. But still, this is not something that you can prepare for. There's no blueprint for it, and he's going to be tired. He's going to be exhausted, and Ryan Day left the sort of door open there. It's like we're going to have to look at how this looks. If Ryan Day needs to take on more of an offensive game planning role in the weeks ahead. So all that's to say, Bean, that's one question about the pecking order. But Brian Hartline touches every single aspect of this program. For someone who's not the head coach, it's as impactful of a move as you can have. It doesn't mean that Ohio State can't or won't survive it, but it's a huge deal.
It is a huge deal, and because it's such a big deal, I mean, was there any? I hadn't heard Brian Hartline to South Florida at all over the last couple of months, and you hear the plane from Happy Valley came into Columbus, or it's in Kentucky,
Lexington.
There's all these other schools. Is South Florida has come out of nowhere? Do you know anything about that? I guess you guys probably haven't talked to Brian yet, of course, but Did you have any inkling that maybe this was a possibility, I guess, on National Signing Day on Wednesday, right before the Big Ten championship game?
Didn't think it would happen today, Jay-Z, and I don't really think that anyone in the Woody anticipated that. In terms of were there any signs? Was there any indication that might be a job that Brian Hartline would want? Yeah, there were. The Penn State thing was never real. And I've said this to you, Justin, on Mondays at Roosters. I know I've said it on the Buckeye Show with Beam. That was pretty clearly and obviously and then admittedly planted by the Penn State coaching staff through their media the week of that game a month ago as a distraction for Brian Hartline. He was not going to be a legitimate head coaching candidate for Penn State. Kentucky, there was definitely a level of interest for Brian Hartline. Was he the top candidate? No, which is why Will Stein got that job almost immediately. But there was also an assumption, I think, in coaching circles that Colin Klein was going to be the targeted coach for South Florida in that cycle. And it's another spot that obviously Brian Hartline had interest because he took the job and he's going to be the head coach there next season. And he has, he's lived in South Florida. He's had tremendous success with South Florida recruits. It's a pretty good fit for him at a level that would be a great proving ground for him. But once Kansas State had an unexpected situation occur that I think tipped over a domino that then put Brian Hartline in play for a job that he may not have been the actual first and primary candidate for. And then they moved on quickly. And I think the interest obviously there was mutual. So I would say sort of yes and no, Jay-Z, that this was the one that was if it happens, be on alert for it. But then it really materialized in warp speed over the last, 24 hours at this point.
He is Austin Ward with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Obviously a very busy day, Austin. Signing day, you had media comments a little bit earlier from Ryan Day. You're going to get to talk to him here in the lightning round in a couple of minutes. I know we're early on in this process. Is this a national job, or is this a promotion from inside the building? Is it an ex-Buckeye? What is the plan of attack here?
Ex-Buckeye, a national championship winning offensive coordinator? Or
there's a few of them in there.
Yeah. So I think, as you said, it is early. Ryan Day is always prepared with contingencies in any circumstance. I think it could be a mixture of both. At least that's sort of the way a lot of these have transpired with Ryan Day. Is he's got more comfortable, got more control over his program and grown into it over the years. I think in terms of wide receivers, you can potentially address that in-house with Keenan Bailey, who has worked alongside really everyone in this program for the last 8 years, but especially Brian Hartline as well. He knows the passing scheme. He knows the attack. He's coached wide receivers. He's also been involved with a lot of these Florida recruitments over the years. So I think that there's a potential solution for that or an easy fix. You also still have Devin Jordan in the building, who has been, working as one of the assistant to the wide receivers coaches over the last couple of years and been, really widely praised for that work. So you've got a couple guys that can address that part of it when it comes to putting the game plan together, making the calls on Saturdays. I think that's probably where Ryan Day will leave the options open and conduct more of a search. That's not a knock on Keenan Bailey, not a knock on Billy Fessler or Tyler Bowen or anybody, Carlos Lockton or whoever else you want to throw in the mix there. But I think that the way that Ohio State and Ryan Day have approached these things is they won't leave any stone unturned. And I wouldn't bet money on who the actual candidates would be, but Chip Kelly I think will be among them. I think that Brian Dable could be among them, even though he's up for other head coaching jobs. There's a couple. Joe Moorhead he has been involved in the past with these searches. Jason Candle the same way. So that's it. Matt Patricia was not someone I named on the day that Jim Knowles left.
Exactly.
So this can go a number of ways. But if we're talking about a potential list of starting places, nationally and out, I think that's where it would begin.
How many questions before we get you out of here? One, what does the big board say over at the Woody? And two, how many questions will Ryan Day get about Indiana tonight in the lightning round?
He actually got a lot more on Tuesday than I thought he was going to get, but that's before the world changed. So I think Indiana will probably not come up at all. I can't see the big board right now, but the referees just walked out the door, and Jerry just propped it open for the media to come in. So I am now walking into the practice facility as we speak. So practice is over. Buckeyes did practice indoors, I can tell you that. But they are breaking down practice right now. And for the first time in weeks, the wide receivers didn't just immediately leave the field so we couldn't see them. So you know that everything is trending the right way.
Is Brian Hartline there? Can you see him?
I actually saw Brian Hartline at 1 o'clock earlier. So, yeah, I see him right now.
Okay.
All right. Done. He's still, it still says Ohio State on it, believe it or not. So he's in the middle of his wide receivers. He is here. He is locked in. And the thing I'm most curious about, and I'm not going to do it, as I mentioned, I saw him earlier, and I offered him congratulations. It's certainly a goal for a lot of coaches to be able to take over their own program, but is how many or what members of the media might go try and corral him for comments, and then how far he throws them away from him after that.
Keep your eyes and ears pinned. Austin, always appreciate the time. Have a great night at the Woody, and I'll talk to you tomorrow, all right?
Can't wait. See you guys.
There he goes. Austin Ward with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fangus Hotline. A lot there. A lot to react to, but Joshua Perry, he's going to react to the coaching carousel, give us his thoughts on the Buckeyes' victory in Ann Arbor. All kinds of good college football stuff with Joshua Perry coming up in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. Football runs deep in my family. My dad played here, and now my brother and I are proud to carry on that tradition. At Monogram Homes, family matters too. They treat every homeowner like one of their own, building with care, precision, and pride. Monogram doesn't just build houses, they build homes, crafted just for you. So whether you're starting your first home or designing your dream space, Monogram Homes has got your back every step of the way. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
You get up early on snow days because snowed in is not an option. The Kubota Snow lineup of compact tractors, RTVs, and versatile attachments are built to thrive in the winter. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $4,000. Now through December 31st, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Find your local Kubota dealer at BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com.
Modern Office Methods, your authorized Ricoh dealer, can help your business optimize your print production with a competitive advantage. Our digital printing options will expand the type of paper and substrates from what your business can print on today. Add variable data capability, which allows for personalization of catalogs and mailers, and the ability for short-run label printing, which allows your business to print high volumes of custom labels quickly and on demand. Want to learn more? Start with a print assessment at momnet.com. Why risk it? You can count on Mom.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We here at The Fan believe there's no such thing as too much Ohio State coverage. You're locked into the Buckeye Show.
Hanging out with my guy Justin Zwick tonight. We just had Austin Ward. Right now we head back out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our great friend. He is Joshua Perry. JP, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. Before we get to the wackiness and zaniness of the college football world, including what happened in Ann Arbor this past weekend, your thoughts on the Brian Hartline news today, leaving Ohio State, will be here till the end of the playoff run, but taking a head coaching job at USF. Thanks for the time, JP.
I appreciate you guys having me. Listen, all good things come to an end, right? And I think that's kind of where we're at right now. Brian Hartline started at Ohio State, kind of, volunteer coach, worked his way in, worked up the ranks, and he's done basically everything that he can here without taking the next step. And from the Ohio State point of view, can't give him more money, can't give him a bigger title. It kind of felt like this moment was always coming for a coach that has risen the way that he has. He is a great developer. He is a great recruiter. He has done a really good job with the offense this year in the coordinator role. And as a competitor, you want to take that next step and you want to broaden your career. So I'm very happy for him, and I'm grateful for all that he's done here in Columbus. Excited to see what his career looks like. And for Ohio State, this is what happens when you're an elite program, an elite team. We've seen it over different eras. We saw it with Urban. We've seen it with Ryan Day to a certain extent too. But, this is a time where you reload and you move on to the next plan and you develop another great coach. So certainly bittersweet. I know people are a little bit panicky right now because of the impact on that room. And, National Signing Day is probably not the greatest timing for it all. But this is something that was naturally going to happen with a guy like Brian Hartline. I'm excited to see what his next step looks like.
Yeah, excited for him. I started the show off, a friend, somebody we played with, really cool to see that happen. How he's going to stick around. Ryan came out today. Hey, he's going to be here through the playoffs and, through the Big Ten championship game, all that good stuff. How hard can you be elite doing something like that with just being pulled in so many different directions, do you think?
We won it in 2014 doing that with Tom Herman. He was on his way out to go be the head coach at Houston. And it was certainly difficult. And I've heard coaches talk about it. I know what Tom went through at that point where, during the day, he was 100% focused on winning a championship with the Ohio State Buckeyes. And after he was done being on the clock for Ohio State, he was focused on being the coach at Houston. I saw a great clip from Dan Mullen, who was an assistant with Urban. He was talking about after the 2008 season, he took the job to go to Mississippi State, and he said 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., he was focused on the postseason for the Florida Gators. And from the rest of the time, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., it was, what can I do as a head coach of Mississippi State? I can remember Tom Herman, he was, he'd have to dip out on a weekend where we were off as players or whatever the case was, take a flight, go down there, get some things set up, fly right back, get back into the game plan. It is hard. Like, that is a difficult job to do. But Brian Hartline, he's committed. He's one of us, right? So he's going to put his full effort into it. Mm-hmm. And by the way, these support staffs are as big as they've ever been, right? Like, he's got the support here to be able to be fully invested while he's working on getting everything at South Florida up and running. So I don't worry about it. It's something that has happened over decades. We've seen coaches do it, and I think he's equipped to do it, and he's going to want to leave the right taste in the mouth of his alma mater.
Joshua, what did you see that you liked the most on Saturday afternoon up in Ann Arbor from the Buckeyes?
There was no panic, right? Like it was the beginning of the game. People have talked about it. There was a long run on defense. You're like, oh my God, here we go again, right? Julian,
how did you get into my brain, man?
Did you hear our postgame show?
It's crazy. And then Julian throws the pick, and I'm like,
worst ball of the year.
Al McCord did this. Will Howard did this. Now Julian's doing it. And as a fan, you start to panic. But that sideline was cool. Those players were cool. Julian ended up having a phenomenal game. And people talk about Heisman moments. And we watched Fernando Mendoza, have to come back against Penn State, a game where they had a lead, by the way. And everybody's like, give him the Heisman. And then a couple weeks later, Marcel Reed has probably the worst half of football that any quarterback has had in a game that matters this year. And then they end up storming back, and people were like, oh, that was Marcel Reed's Heisman moment. This to me was Julian's moment, right? The historic efficiency that he's had, 79% completion over the regular season, best in college football history. That to me was enough for a Heisman statement. But being able to come back, play the way that he did, I thought was phenomenal. They have to follow it up this weekend, obviously, in Indianapolis. And then for that defense to basically be able to do what they've done all year and that smother an offense, I thought it was phenomenal. The run game came alive, 20-play drive. You can pick a bunch of different moments there, but it felt like the right performance to get the monkey off their back. And I am as a guy who went undefeated in that rivalry, and I know what it feels like to win and to have the gold pants and to be able to puff your chest out when you're walking through the streets of Columbus. I am so happy for those players that they get to feel that. And the guys that won't get to play in it again, to say that they were able to at least get one, that's a huge deal. So I have a lot of pride as somebody who played in that program. I'm excited for the guys, and everything now is about the postseason mentality.
Yeah, take us into this weekend. 1 versus 2. I think everybody's kind of wanted, at least everybody up in the north in the Big Ten country has wanted to see this all year long. How do you see this one going Saturday night?
Yeah, this is a game where, and Ohio State hasn't taken any opponents lightly. I don't expect them to, but you can't just look at the logo and say, oh, it's a dub, right? It's a different thing. Kurt Cignetti is one of the best in the game right now. He's a phenomenal ball coach. Those guys don't make mistakes. And on offense, their offensive line plays really well as a unit, and they can run the football. And we obviously know with Fernando Mendoza, they can throw it. Omar Cooper Jr., Elijah Surratt, those are two guys that are going to play in the NFL at wide receiver. You have to be able to match up against those guys. And then their defense, they do a great job of disguise. They do a great job of getting pressure. They live in opponents' backfields, right? There are challenges everywhere. And by the way, D'Angelo Pons, their cornerback number 1, he's an NFL player. He's probably going to be an All-American. They've got plenty of dudes over there. Their defensive coordinator, Brian Haynes, was a GA, worked with the linebackers in 2013 here at Ohio State. I know it's probably going to mean a lot for him to go out there and call defense against the Buckeyes. So this is one of those games where the opponent certainly matters. They have to be on their A game. But I also look at Ohio State, and the run game has come alive in the last few weeks, right? Like Bo Jackson's done a great job with that. Certainly feel more confident. I mentioned Julian and all that he's done. It's great that Jeremiah and Carnell are healthy. Yep. And then the defense, once again, like, go out and do your deal. Just do your deal. Do what you've done all year long, and you feel pretty good about their chances.
It sounds like both sides of the ball for Ohio State and Indiana are good. Would you trend higher scoring or lower scoring in this game, JP?
I feel like it's going to be lower scoring. I respect both of these defenses a ton. I think these are two of the most complete teams in America, just putting that out there, like just offense, defense, everything that they do. But Indiana's defense, their strength is that they're rarely out of position. They don't make a ton of mistakes. And so it's going to be hard to feel like you can just hit explosives. It's going to be one of those games, which Ohio State plays, where you matriculate down the field and you have to capitalize on opportunities when they come. I see the same thing. Like, for all the great things that Indiana does, the Ohio State defense is phenomenal. And by the way, Fernando Mendoza, if there's one Achilles heel for him, it's when he's away from home and when he's under pressure. He is not the same quarterback. And so I'm not anticipating a ton of points, but I think this is one where possessions are going to be at a premium.
Joshua, you've been in this game a couple of times. You've been over to Indy in your lifetime and played in this game. What is this like for a player? Now, obviously, very different scenarios to when you were playing compared to now. We had earlier, I think it was on Sunday afternoon, Ryan Day was asked this question, and Curt Cignetti. I think the college football world is looking at Indiana and Ohio State regardless of outcome of this game, saying that both teams will get a bye. Ryan Day said, yep, shouldn't be punished for being in a conference championship game. Curt Cignetti saying, no, absolutely not. Like, you should be punished if you lose this game, which I think kind of fits the bill for everyone. But what is this week like as a player getting ready to play in one of these games over in Indianapolis?
Well, by the way, I think you should be punished if you lose a conference championship game. Now, how much you're punished is a different deal, but the Alabama people are going to run with that if they get their doors blown off, that they shouldn't be punished. They should be on the cut line.
So will Texas.
Neither here nor there. Indy was home for Ohio State for a while, right? Like, it felt like year after year that we got to play there. I love being in that arena. I love being on the neutral field, kind of feeling that little bit of a split between the fans. We won in 14, obviously. We didn't win in 13. We were there. That was a heartbreaker. But I enjoyed my experiences. I think this is unique because we're in a world where everybody's like, oh, how much do conference championships matter? For Indiana, it's going to matter, right? Like, this is new territory for them. Their fans are excited. It's in their home state. Like, they're going to care. And frankly, for Ohio State, we haven't been since the COVID year. Like, Ohio State fans give a damn about this one too. And so I'm very excited to watch it. Like, it was great because it was that cherry on top to a really good season as a player. You get to go into Indy. You get to try to be a champion in the first step of the postseason. So I think it's a great opportunity.
JP, before we get you out of here quickly in the last minute or so, what in the heck's going on at Penn State?
Is anybody going to take that job?
Listen, I don't know who's going to take that job. I might apply for it, honestly. I'll bring you guys with me. I mean, that's.
Will you still come on with us every week? If
we're going to be there with him. What are you talking about? I'm coaching quarterbacks, JP.
Listen, look, I'm going to need to keep my media connections strong because I'm going to get fired in 2 years if I take that job. Here's the reality of the situation, though. They felt good about what they were doing. They were ahead of everything, and then it dawns on you. Penn State is a bit of an outpost. They haven't won a championship in my life. They just fired a coach that was perennial 10-win guy who was in the college football playoff semifinal. Probably scared some people off. Like, I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but if, you're looking at Pat Kraft, the AD there, they feel like they're numbered. And I know that's a tough thing to say, but like, it just, they swung and they missed. Like, they fumbled the bag so bad.
Joshua Perry, the acting head coach at Penn State, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. JP, have a great rest of the week. Enjoy conference championship weekend, and we will check in again next week, all right?
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
There he goes, our great friend Joshua Perry. The college football world is spinning at a dizzying speed. We're going to get into that in the Pulse coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Got this. Breathe. You got this. You got this.
in the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
James Laurinaitis here from my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of the biggest reasons people get new windows, Wilson, is that old windows make for an uncomfortable house with crazy high roller coaster energy bills.
Leslie, people love being uncomfortable on roller coasters. The ups, the downs, the gurgling in your stomach because you had 5 corn dogs before getting on.
Did that happen to you, Wilson?
What? No.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. You know when you grow a beard or cut your hair and the mirror surprises each day, then it fades? Well, here's what doesn't fade. Seeing this thinner version of me staring back every single morning. 2 years after dropping 50 pounds with Awaken 180, I'm still doing a double take. And let me tell you, it feels awesome. Awaken 180 didn't just change my weight, it changed how I see myself, literally. I dropped my 50 pounds during the holidays. It's the best time to start, in my opinion. What's stopping you? Awaken180weightloss.com.
Toyota-thon is on. Get in the spirit of the season with a new Toyota. Now through January 5th, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Corollas and Corolla hybrids. Excludes GR and Corolla Cross. Or lease a gas-powered 26 Corolla LE for $199 a month for 39 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town.properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
T-Bone and Tybus.
Could you imagine being a college kid and getting a Venmo for $1 million? I'd shed tears. I cried.
T-Bone and Tybus Mornings on the Fan is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. All Buckeyes, all the time. You are listening to The Buckeye Show.
Got the Inside Edge coming up here at the top of the hour. tell you, for the first time since 2020, Buckeyes are back in the Big Ten championship game. And the Fan, we've got you covered with 11 hours of pregame coverage this Saturday. It all begins at 9 a.m. Fan Sports Saturday. You got Tim Hall, Tyvis Powell. Noon to 2:30, Eric Reeser and Tito. 2:30 to 4:30, when Matty Ice, Dane Sonsenbacher, and some guy named Justin Zwick doing some pregame for you. And then 4:30 to 6:30, Rothman, Tim May, Dave Biddle. 6:30 to 8 o'clock. We obviously get into network pregame. And then you and me, Justin.
1 to 2 a.m. Let's go, everybody. Tune in.
That'll get into our postgame time. But I feel like we'll be all good. We got 11 hours of pregame coverage.
We got everything we want on Saturday. It's going to be great.
It's going to be terrific. Isaiah, what are you doing Saturday?
I'm working the very first shift of the day.
Okay. So you got the early shift.
The Fan Sports Saturday. I think I'm on, it's me, Timmy, and I can't remember who our third is. Yeah, it's Timmy and Tyvis. Yep, that's who it is.
All right, that'll be good.
Yeah, early mornings.
I like it. Yeah, you get home in the afternoon.
Plenty of time to get ready for the game. I got 12 hours after the show ends.
Yeah, you're going to be good.
You'll be okay.
Yeah, we've got basketball going on the AM too on the network. So we'll be here before the game. Justin and
we're all going to be here all day.
Everyone's going to be here all day. But you know what? As you should for your first Big Ten championship in 5 years. Oh, I was trying to play the College Football Pulse, and for some reason, it's not working. Anyways, it's College Football Pulse time. Isaiah?
Do you want me to hit it for you?
Yeah, if you can.
Somebody hit it. I don't think that was right.
We'll just give ourselves some music, why don't we?
Nobody knows anything over here. All right, it says grace period in big red letters like on our sound thing. I'm clicking all kinds of things.
We'll just have that in the background. And let's talk some Diego Pavia in Vanderbilt. So Pavia obviously upset that the Commodores are currently sitting on the outside looking in on the most previous college football playoff rankings. So he went ahead and aimed a tweet at Mr. President Donald Trump.
Yes.
He said, make the executive order, please, asking the president to expand the college football playoff to 16 teams with the previously proposed 4-4-2-2 format, which, if you guys are wondering, SEC people didn't even like the first time around.
Yeah, I mean, he has a gripe.
Make the SEC great again.
he has a gripe. They have 2 losses.
Oh, they should be in 100%.
They have 2 losses, at Alabama and at Texas. All right? They are currently number 14 in the college football playoff rankings. No way for them, with what the College Football Playoff Committee likes to consider the extra data point, which is just conference championship weekend. They're not playing another game. Their record, their resume cannot be improved. And then Justin and I were just talking about in the break. They have 2 losses, again, on the road. At Alabama, at Texas. Texas, you go look at their schedule. You've got Steve Sarkisian, who is just out of his mind about why are we even scheduling Ohio State? Mm-hmm. All right, why are we scheduling this game? We lost that game, and then we lost 2 more. Yeah, you lost to Florida, which fired their coach. Don't lose that game and stop complaining about the Buckeyes. But anyways, back to Vanderbilt. All right, you start getting into this resume decision. The 1-loss teams, the 0-loss teams should all be in. All right, they are all going to be in. And the ones who fit the bill on that, Buckeyes, Hoosiers, Georgia, Texas Tech, Oregon, Ole Miss, Texas A&M. Those are all your 0-loss teams and 1-loss teams. You got Oklahoma sitting there at 10-2. You got Bama sitting there at 10-2. The one kicker in this whole situation, I should say BYU is 11-1 too, by the way. I don't want to discredit the Cougs out there. The one kicker in this situation, though, is Notre Dame. Notre Dame 10-2, and I feel like we have talked about them so much this season. They lost their first 2 games out of the gates. Now they have won 10 in a row.
They've
Credit
lost
to them.
The 2 good teams they played.
The best 2 teams that they played, they lost.
One at home, one on the road.
One at home, one on the road. They did beat USC at home, and then they just absolutely demolished Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, let's not act like beating Pitt is something great.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not. So does Diego Pavia have a gripe? Yes. Absolutely. Is it going to be the reason why the college football playoff expansion goes to 16 or a larger number? I don't know. But at the end of the day, no matter how many teams are in the playoffs, you are always going to have a fan base being mad from the outside looking in.
You're never going to make everybody happy, right? Because when it was the BCS, and then we went to a 4, and it's like, it's going to be 32 at some point. Just let everybody play the playoffs.
I say everybody, it's a single elimination. at the very beginning of the
start
year.
at the season.
Better not lose.
You lose that first game out of the gates, you're done. Your season
I love that.
is over. Yeah,
I don't want to hear anything out of you guys.
I don't know what the playoffs are going to look like, but it's going to get expanded, and maybe Diego Pavia can talk to the NCAA and have his eligibility expanded by like 5 more years like he did last year. Isaiah, what else you got for us tonight?
I'm touching on something you kind of brought up in the beginning of your explanation here. Steve Sarkisian thinking the Longhorns should have a playoff spot, but since they aren't currently in, he has issues with playing Ohio State. He said, obviously, this season we scheduled the Buckeyes, played that game, we lose 14-7, and we're being punished for it. So at that point, why do we even play them? Because if we're a 10-2 team, we're not even having a discussion right now. Why the hell am I going to play that game next year? For what? What good does it do?
Yeah, and I just saw this from yesterday, and I saw the likes of Kirk Herbstreit and other college football analysts losing their mind. Like, Alabama canceled their game against USF. Maybe they had an inside track to know that Brian Hartline was taking that job. They said, hey, we want no part of him. But they released a statement that said Bama has just announced its future schedule. The Crimson Tide and USF mutually agreed to their previously scheduled 26 and 32 season. Alabama will replace that contest with Chattanooga, and as was previously announced, added a game against East Carolina for the 26 campaign. I think college football fans suffer.
1,000%.
Because you're not like when does Ohio State have Bama and Georgia on the schedule, right? It's either
Bama is in 2 years, so we're gonna do Texas next year, and then it's a back-to-back with Bama after that.
Odds that game remains on the schedule for those 2 years.
Hard to say.
Yeah, that could be tough.
Then we got Georgia in 2030, so we'll have a break. We'll do Texas, Bama, a break without any big teams, and then we'll do Georgia. Probably not happening.
Yeah, those will change 1,000%.
Unless they expand the playoffs, then you can keep those games and you can lose them, and Steve Sarkisian will be happy. And
when the
get
playoff came, it was like, oh, you can go play those because one loss isn't going to knock you out. And like, yeah, okay, cool. But you can't lose to Florida.
You can't lose
That's
to
where
Florida.
it comes down to. Like, the Ohio State game wasn't killing you. Losing to a team that just fired their coach.
That killed you.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
And they played very well at the very end of the year. Texas did everything they needed to do at the end of the stretch, but Arch Manning was bad at the very beginning of the year and in the middle of the year. Now they have rebounded to their credit. But sorry, only 12 teams get in, and you're not going to be getting in, Sark. Apologies.
What can you do? All right, final one here. Penn State and James Franklin. The saga never ends. Today, there were some rumors going around that James Franklin is using Crumble Cookie to rub dirt in Penn State's coaching hunt. If you didn't know, Penn State targeted BYU's Kalani Sitake for their head coaching position, but after BYU supporter and Crumble CEO Jason McGowan stepped in, he signed a new contract with BYU. And then today, when James was doing all the signing day for Virginia Tech, what's in the background? A Crumble Cookie box.
Yeah, college football is just so good.
Great.
It's so petty, right? And James Franklin came out and was like, nope, they're just a great sponsor of our university. And
he said, we've been a fan of Crumble for a long time.
Yeah, sure you have.
Yes, he has.
The whole Penn State thing is crazy because you've honed in on probably 8 coaches, and all of them have said no to you. You got Kurt Cignetti, a big contract extension. You got Matt Rule an extension. You got Clark Lee an extension. Like all these different guys who you were going to be after have said no to you. Kalani Sitake, the head coach at BYU, Crumble Cookie's owner, steps in, and then James Franklin on signing day, who flipped a couple of your recruits, has their whole staff meal or whatever catered by that company.
I wish the Crumble guy would come out and be like, I sent all that over there.
It's so good. College football
it's wild,
is the
isn't
best. Jay-Z, I had a terrific time with you here this evening. I'll see you Saturday afternoon, but I will talk to you Saturday night, probably actually on Sunday morning.
Sunday morning. Sounds good.
Everybody have an awesome evening. Austin and I will be back for an hour show tomorrow. We got the Inside Edge.
Yeah,
that's coming up next on The Fan.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends